In this activity, players start at the forehand contact point and bump the ball back to the parent, finishing in the forehand finish position. This activity introduces the forehand finish, which is the position of the body when the racket finishes decelerating. Players begin in the ready position a short distance away from the net. They hold the racket at the forehand contact point. This challenge is very similar to the forehand contact bump. However, this time the player does not stop at contact, but instead continues the swing, ending in the forehand finish position. In the forehand finish, which resembles the player sneezing into their elbow, the right shoulder and elbow point to the parent, with the player's chin on their right shoulder, showing that the player rotated through the hit. The right elbow is up and away from the body. The left arm stays up and pulls across the body, ending with the hand near shoulder height. The hitting side racket face and right palm point to the left. The player's right foot is on its toe, and the player is balanced. The parent gently tosses the ball in front of the player's racket. The player calls out bounce as the ball hits the ground, steps with their left foot as if they are walking toward the ball. As the player steps, their torso should rotate slightly away from the net naturally. The player then turns their hips and torso and lifts their racket arm upward and across their body as they do so, bumping the ball back over the net and finishing in the forehand finish. The player calls out hit as they do so, then returns to the starting position. For this challenge, players must make 4 bumps in a row to win the point. If the player misses the ball, hits it too hard, or otherwise does not hit it directly to the parent wins the point. Play until the player beats the parent in a game, and then move on to the next challenge. While running this drill, parents should watch out for and correct the palm of the racket hand pointing toward the head at the finish, a side-on finish where the player did not rotate their body, likely finishing with their sneeze to the right, and the left arm flopping down at the finish to the side rather than staying up. On future attempts, challenge the player by asking them to start with their racket in the ready position as well as their feet. The parent says ready to cue the player to go to this ready position. They say low 5 to cue the player to move to their contact point. Once the player is in the contact point, the parent tosses the ball. As the player becomes more skilled at this, reduce the time between the low 5 cue and the throw.